Tippy time, my damies, Top Cat here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on our ARC 3.0 Hunter, and we're just diving around punching the living hell out of everything. This is a 100% upfront, close and personal slugfest build that I guarantee you will love and not be able to put down. It works in all levels of content because of this exotic here, the Liar's Handshake. Its armor perk, cross counter, using arc melee ability or being hit by a melee ability will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counter punch that will also heal you. We've got a mad strong melee, we've got heaps of resilience, we've got heaps of blinding, jolts just decimate adds as well. They'll just obliterate people through their shields. Jolt does not give a fuck. So yeah, just run around, dodge melee, dodge melee, dodge melee. You're never going to run out of this ability, and this just allow you to decimate anything that stands in your path. Getting the zaps, just lovely. So we are going to be running the Well of Ions Elemental Well mod. Pick up an Arc Elemental Well causes your next melee to deal increased damage. We're also running Spark of Feedback. Taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage as well. And then we have Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target will create ionic traces to help feed back those abilities, so we've always got a punch in our hands ready to go. Spark of Resistance will help us going to stay strong when we're in there dip diving and dodging. We're just going to have a resistance build up, so very helpful when we're just going out on a pure offensive slugfest. I've taken this into higher level content of around plus 20, and with the speed boost and agility that you have, it just allows you to get in nice and tight, have the resilience from the dodge, and just go in and slap things around a little bit. And these punches, they hit really hard. The good thing about that is you can save your special ammo, because you're literally just walking around one-hitting everything, red, orange, yellow, it doesn't matter. It is seriously strong. You can punch through shields as well, which I found is a great utility. But the Dance of Death comes between two abilities, Combination Blow, Quick Strike, stacks up to 3 times damage, and it's also going to refund your class ability on a kill. Then we use Gambler's Dodge, we dodge near an enemy and get our melee back. So this is the perpetual loop that we use to just knock everything down. We're also using Lethal Current. After dodging, your next melee attack has an increased lunge range. It's also going to jolt the target and create damaging aftershocks. Then if you damage a jolted target, additionally it's going to blind them as well. So you've got all these attributes at your fingertips just to zip things and take out their eyeballs, making them easy targets to be picked off one by one. Then if there's anything there that didn't get killed by the jolts, a bigger target, just walk up and punch him and it's going to blind him, that way you can just lay into him. Flow state, when we defeat jolted targets, it's going to make us amplified. Amplified gives us that speed boost. Dodge recharges faster, we're more resilient whilst dodging as well, and we do the quick reloads as we're doing a lot of shotgun damage for this build. So my 1-2 punch Matador, Arc Shotgun of course, is here ready to lay into things. Strong punch, strong shotgun. Spark of Beacons, whilst we're amplified, which we always are, our special weapon Final Blows create a blinding explosion. So now our melees can blind, our arc weapons can blind, and our grenades can blind. And so just think how good that is in terms of getting in to do damage. I mean, we always used to run blinding, auto-loading GLs and harder in content for a reason, and now we've got 3 sources of this that's just going to allow us to get in there to the nitty-gritty and just damage things without a care in the world of our safety, because they don't know we're there. We're also double stacking weapon damage using Font of Might and high energy fire. Now we're getting charged with light through a melee well maker build, so we're always going to have wells available to us. That's just going to allow us to lay in there and do really good deeps on these yellow bars. And because we're not really shotgunning the little guys, we're not wasting our charge with light there, so that's always there ready to go for the big boss. This build isn't centered around grenades. I have been using flashbangs, but that's just more of a personal preference. I like to chuck one into a crowd when I'm going into battle, but I've also been using like arc bolts, as they're good when you're in damaging. Just drop one at your feet and it just, you know, wipes a perimeter. So they're both good options. It really comes down to what you want. Like I said, this isn't a grenade build as such, so personal preference based on the encounter you're doing. And I would say much the same thing when it comes to your primary. I'm not really using a primary, but I have been using a scathed lock just because it's got osmosis on it. I don't have to reload with subsistence, and that way I can still make use of Pontomite. Blink, love Blink. It's super good when you are in the nitty gritty of it and you need to get out of danger. If you do ever get too much of that red bar, Blink's great. Gathering Storm, my new favorite super choice. I love just chucking that skewer through something's chest, and it also does pretty good damage now. I wouldn't say it's the highest damage. I think when you unlock the last artifact in the season pass, this is going to push this to about the 4th strongest super, I think. That's at standard. When you put the amplifier on it, it gives you another 60k, so it is around that 400 mark. So yeah, good super. Check it at the yellow bar and it'll pick up everything else around it as well. So no, really recommend the super. You'll love it to pieces, trust me on that. It only lasts for about 10 odd seconds though. That is the one downfall of it. Something like a tornado just keeps on going and going and going. This does have a short shelf life, but does do good damage as well. For my heavy, I have been using the Legend of ACRIUS. It has long march, so I can detect things further away, but shock blast, this is going to allow us to over penetrate targets. It does an awful lot of damage, trust me on that. With one damage phase, you can get like 1,000,000 plus damage with it if you have the high energy fire, Pontomite stacked up, and you get your reloads right. It is just brutal, so it's a good weapon for certain encounters, like the last encounter at the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, something that's going to stand still or not knock you around too much. You can't be trying to shoot Oryx in the face with this thing, but circumstances permitted, this is extremely powerful. Recapping our armor, we have Pontomite on our helmet, and we have a hands-on mod. We're punching a lot, we want a lot of super. Elemental charge, I'm using shotgun loader, and unstoppable shotgun for stunning those champs. High energy fire, melee damage resistance as we're in there nice and tight, and a concussive dampener for the same reason. Melee wheel marker on our legs, and a shotgun scavenger. This will work both with our Matador and our ACRIUS. I'm using surge detonators. Our arc grenades are going to overload champions. Well of Ions, just going to make that melee stronger. And Thunderous Retort, which is going to amp up our super. So good super energy, good melee, good shotgun. This just got it all, 1-2 punch. Love this build to pieces. So this is the bids. Give it a go for yourself. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you knew and liked it, please give it a sub. And if you've got any comments or questions below, feel free to chuck them there. Until next time, tippy tie my damies. What a tie. He's the most tip.